So, you want to change the headlight bulb in a Mark II Ford Focus? Well, all you need is a large flat-headed screwdriver like this, a cloth which is about this size so nothing gets scratched, and yes, a new bulb would come in mighty handy too. Welcome to CarSpyTV. So the first thing we need to do is open the bonnet, which is a slightly unusual process on this car. So let's twist the Ford badge out the way, like so. And then we can see this key slot here at the end of my finger. So insert the car's ignition key into that slot, and then turn it to the left and listen for a clunk. There it is, and the bonnet has slightly popped up. Now we need to twist the key and hold it to the right, like so, and then the bonnet can lift up fully. But do be careful though, because this mechanism is a bit fragile, it breaks easily. So today we'll replace the headlight bulb on the right of the car, and that means removing the headlamp itself, which is nowhere near as daunting as it sounds. So let's have a look at the top of the headlamp, and what we can see here is a nice big screw, and that needs to be removed. The headlamp is now slightly loose, as we can see, but it's still held in position by two plastic clips. The first clip is easy enough to find. It's this piece of black plastic all the way down there. The second clip is much harder to see, but nonetheless we'll do our best. So have a look at the top of the headlamp where this corner buffs up to the wing. Now we need to look down there where my finger's pointing, and if we're lucky we might just about get a glimpse of that second clip. Now at this point you'll find yourself in one of two scenarios. Either you'll be able to pull the headlamp forward and those two plastic clips will disconnect by themselves, or more typically I find the clips need to be released manually, and I tend to do that with a big screwdriver. So just gently push the clips down a little bit just to release them, and do be careful because plastics can be brittle when cars get to this age. And then even this can be a bit of a struggle, but hopefully, oh no, it has come out easily. We can now move the headlamp forward, but be careful of course because it is still connected by the wiring loom, and this is where we need the cloth. So we can pop that down there, turn the headlamp round like so, and nothing gets scratched. So this of course is the back of the headlamp, and we now need to remove this plastic cover so we can access the headlight bulb. And to do that there are four plastic clips to undo. There's one, so we just push that little tab in like so, and it's the same story there, and indeed there, and the final one is at the back there. And then with a bit of luck this cover will just come off, which indeed it has. Now of course there are several bulbs in the headlamp itself, but the one we're working on today, the headlight, is this one here in the middle. So we now need to remove this electrical connector, but before we do, notice that from our perspective the brown wire is at the top and the white wire is down there at the bottom, and we need to bear that in mind when we put it back. So to release the electrical connector, it simply pulls up. Can be a bit stiff, but there we go, it's off. And then underneath there, can you see this silver metal clip? That's what holds the bulb in place. And to release it we need to push it down where my finger is, like so, and then lift it or slide it like this, and then up like that. And we can now pull the bulb out, which of course is very easy. We just do so like that.
Now, at this point, it's a good idea just to double check that you've definitely bought the correct type of new bulb. And the easiest way to do that is to have a look at the old bulb, because it's got the model number written on it. For our particular Ford Focus, it's an H7.
Now when you insert the new bulb, be careful not to touch the glass piece here, because you don't want moisture from your hands getting onto there. And you'll also notice that around the edge here there's this square, well, rectangular cutout. That corresponds to a cutout down there, so you can't accidentally put the bulb in the wrong way around. So there it sits. And then of course we simply replace this clip like so. And then the electrical connector. And do you remember I said brown wire at the top from our perspective? That's what we have. Push that on like so. And then replace the black plastic cover over there. So this just slides back into position exactly as you'd expect. And then we need to make sure all the clips are done up. So there's 1, 2, come on, 3, and finally that one there, 4. Okay, so let's reinstall the headlamp, which means we don't need this blue protective cloth anymore. Now, you may remember that this headlamp is held in position by a screw that goes through that hole there and then into that hole there, and then these 2 plastic clips. And I typically find that if you line up those 2 screw holes, the clips take care of themselves. So let's have a go. This is likely to be a little bit fiddly, so it's just a case of be gentle with it and persist. Oh, we might have been lucky. Yeah, that went very well. So let's just get the screw in there. Tighty tighty. And then what we'll do, we'll just have a look down and make sure those clips are in position. That one is. That one I can't really see, but the fact the headlight is rock solid suggests it is in place. And indeed, if we have a look round, it looks like it's properly seated. Good.
So the final thing, of course, is to check the new headlight bulb actually works. So let's turn that on. But I'm also going to check all the other bulbs in that headlamp as we've been fiddling. So that'll be indicators, parking light, and of course, main beam. And as we can see, everything's fine. So there we go. That's how to replace a headlight bulb in a Mark II Ford Focus using only a big flat-headed screwdriver and a blue protective cloth. Now, if you'd like to see me use different size screwdrivers and maybe even different colour protective cloths, it's easy to find my other videos by subscribing to CarSpyTV. Can you also please do me a favour and click like on this video? And I'll see you next time. Farewell!